right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Tales, Trails, and Taverns. So today, what is this? Today I got with me a good friend of mine, somebody who's been a huge inspiration when I started podcasting, especially when I started Instagram. This guy's been top tier since day one. What the fuck? Fuck, did I just lose him? Anyways, I hope he comes back. But today I've got on Dayvid from not only his own podcast, Dayvid Don't Know, he co-hosts Where the Weird Ones Are. He co-hosted, well, I guess it's not on at the moment, but Weird Job in the Morning.
Yeah.
He co-hosts, what's the movie one called?
That one's The Real Verdict.
The Real Verdict.
Yeah.
The Real Verdict. And
I'm the movie judge, man. I rate movies, man.
The movie
judge. Get down on that.
But yeah, Dayvid, how's it going, man? It's awesome to be back in the studio with you.
Oh, man. It's going great, dude. It's great to see you again, Joe. You look fantastic, bro.
You too, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, I actually did an episode for Kevin's Where the Weird Ones Are. I did he asked me to do an episode, like a stand-in episode. So I did. I interviewed Tim Sedano. He's got Paranormal Insight podcast, which I'm going to be on this week, I think. It's a live show on Thursday. This Thursday I'm going to be on it. And
very cool.
That was pretty cool, man. And we did Weird Job in the Morning for a whole year, bro. It was a whole year. Solid.
That's awesome. It was a great show. Yeah.
Thanks, man. He's thinking about bringing it back, but he wanted to take a break. That's why he took a break with Where the Weird Ones Are, and so.
Yep. I mean, you got to take a break sometimes. Sometimes you get so much stuff going on. We took a break over the summer last summer because I was finishing writing a book. Rob was making a movie. And on top of that, I wanted to enjoy some of my summer at the same time. Yeah. So we took a break, and it was good for us, man. It was good for everybody. We had a good time off, and we came back strong, and it's been super strong. But Dayvid, I mean, the people who listen to the show, they have definitely heard me talk about you before. We've had a couple times. I think we did a standalone episode together a while back. I've been on your show. We've talked multiple times over social media and stuff like that. I mean, if you listen to this show and you haven't heard me talk about Dave before, then you're not listening to this show. That's just how it is.
Man, thank you so much.
If you listen to the show,
man,
you should go listen to Dayvid Don't Know.
God damn, look how good looking I am on that
Look
shirt.
How good I was like, oh my God, I got a picture of Dayvid on my, yes.
Look at this, but look at that. I like that.
It was a great.
I like the way it came out. Thank you, AI.
Yeah, man, it looks good.
Appreciate it, man. So yeah, Joe, hey, listen, man, I love your show. And you know what's funny is I think that's how I met. I caught your show one day, and I was listening to it, and you were talking about, your partner was talking about something like walking in the woods with his daughter and that whole thing where
the Doc Mill Pond episode, one of the first,
dude,
first one that Rob came on. Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, dude, I was hooked on that since then. There was an episode that you did when you were at this hotel/bar place that was haunted. I think it was a hotel bar, but they offered to show you around. Yeah, that was kick-ass.
The General Stanton Inn. I talked about that one a bunch of times. That was a great one. Yeah, that was when I asked the bartender about the room next door, and she was like, "Oh, you want a tour?" And then the owner came out, and he was like, "Oh, I heard you want a tour." And I was like, "Yes, take me on a tour."
That's fucking kick-ass.
That actually happened again, not too long ago. I went to another haunted tavern, a place called the Carriage Inn in North Kingstown, and I went in there and I sat down. I love doing this, dude. I love going into places that are supposedly haunted, and I sit down, have a couple beers. I start talking with just a local regular sitting there, and I tell him like, oh, I got a podcast. I came in here because I heard the place was haunted. He was like, oh yeah, it's haunted. He's like, Jess, get the bartender. Jess, come over here. Tell him about how haunted it is. And then it went from that to hearing a bunch of stories. And I got a small tour around upstairs and downstairs in the place. And then
that's awesome,
the bartender sent me a picture, a really cool. I'm gonna send it to you at some point. I meant to send it to you before this so you can see it, but sent me a picture that you could see, like somebody took a picture in a mirror and you could see in the reflection there's like a chef coat in the mirror. Like there's nothing back there, but it looks like you can see like a translucent chef coat. You could almost see the face.
That's awesome.
And then another one, one of the servers sent me a video, and there's like a lock that's swinging, just abnormally, just sitting there, just swinging. And they're like, that happens a lot. You come down here and that shit is just going back and forth, and nobody has any way to explain it. But yeah, I love that shit, man. I love going to places like that and checking it out.
The mirror, dude. What is the deal with mirrors? A lot of people have caught images off of mirrors, and especially if the mirrors there's two of them facing each other.
Yeah,
that's a no-no apparently.
I do not have a mirror in my bedroom just because of that, and I don't have any mirrors that face each other in my house.
Yeah, You're not supposed to do that. It's a bad thing.
Creates a portal. My house is a sanctuary away from ghosts. I do not. I know it's funny because like I've heard some of the people that you've had on talk about having like doing stuff in their house, running equipment in their house or having
I won't do
spooky possessions, stuff in their house, and I'm like, nah, man, house is a sanctuary. I don't care how old it is. My house is 115 years old. I still don't.
That's exactly what I say. My house is my sanctuary. I'm not doing that shit in my house.
Like, this is my house. You can't be.
Yeah.
There's been times where I've definitely been like, oh, I feel like there's something in my house. Like, nope, you got to go. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You got to bounce.
That's what they say in taverns, isn't that right?
Yeah, right. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, buddy.
Yeah.
So, Dayvid, you are in. I want to bring this up. You are Dayvid Don't Know.
Mm-hmm.
You are 18 episodes in already. That is fantastic.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you
so much.
You've covered Canadian and Mexican folklore.
Yeah.
Japanese horror, spontaneous human combustions, which was a great episode, by the way. I love Crime to Burn. I love those guys at Crime to Burn. That was a fantastic episode. UFOs and all kinds of hauntings. So I wanted to ask you first, while we get going here, what are some of the things you've learned about that have surprised you? Because I know you've been doing the paranormal stuff for a while, but what's something that's actually shocked you? You know what I mean?
I had as you know, I'm a rideshare driver, and in the beginning of my episodes, I'll tell a story. Generally, I'll tell a story from one of those guys that I pick up. And one of the craziest stories I got was about this entity or this saint, or I don't even know what they call it, the Santa Muerte, which is like Saint Death translation. And now I've loosely heard about this, but I didn't know anything about it. Picked up this lady, dude, and she was like, hey, I got a paranormal story for you, but don't judge me. I've done bad things in my life. I was like, oh, shit, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
She says, I believe in God, but when you pray to God, sometimes you'll get what you pray for, sometimes you won't. Sometimes it takes forever. But when you pray to the Santa Muerte, you get it instantly. You get it like that. But the problem is you have to give something in return. And if you don't give something in return, very bad things will happen to you. And I was like, oh, snap. So what happened? So she told me, dude, what happened. And basically there's a guy who lives I think he lived in Midland, and we're in San Antonio. So he would come down party, and they got together, they hooked up, and she fell in love with him, right? But he was like, listen, I don't want anything. I just want to come and have some fun. I want to go back home, right?
He's the typical bachelor.
Yeah, dude.
Forever,
he was like,
forever single bachelor. Yeah,
I'm a drinker.
Deal with that relationship shit. Yeah.
I want to calm down. I want to get it on, and then I want to go home. That's it. I don't want nothing from you. So she prayed to the Santa Muerte, right? I want this man. I want him to be my lover. I want him to live here. The dude moved from Midland to San Antonio just to be with her.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And this is a dude that you and I both know this. This is not happening. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
if there's no intervention from something else, this is not happening. And so, yeah, he moved in. And so she was telling me that everything was great, man. They had wonderful time. It was like exactly what she wanted. But then there were cracks because the guy was a flawed guy. He didn't really want to be with someone. And so what happened was he would buy her these effigies of this woman, of this Santa Muerte. And it looks like the Virgin Mary if she were a skeleton covered in robes.
Interesting.
It looks really, because she's death, right?
Yeah.
And so she told me that one day they got into a horrible fight, and he went into where she had her altar and grabbed one of the effigies that he bought her, and he was about to break it, and she said, no, don't do that. If you do that, you're going to upset her. And he said, I don't give a fuck. Crash! Right? And so
that's bad news right there.
I don't think the dude is alive now. Well, see, what she told me was, I'm not kidding, man. So this dude, he left her. But after he left her, he went into a coma from diabetes, what she told me. He went into like a diabetic coma, and she didn't think he was going to make it. But she loved him still, even though he moved back. And he should not have done that, I guess.
No, obviously not. Fucking take warning, man.
And then there's there was a second half of this story that really freaked me out. So she apparently had a really good friend who had a son that was about 5 or 6.
Yeah. Excuse me.
He was gifted. He was a gifted dude, the little dude, right? And so they're in the living room. She goes to her...
Children always are, aren't they?
Apparently. There's some that are really, can see shit, right?
Yeah.
She goes to her bathroom. Her bathroom has... that's where she in her ensuite bathroom is where she worships the Santa Muerte, where she'll pray to the Santa Muerte. So one day she's coming out of the bathroom and she sees the little boy outside of her bedroom going backwards like this, walking like he's like scared, right? This kind of creeped me out. He's walking backwards and she says, what are you doing? And he says, there's a dog on your bed. Well, she looks and she goes, I don't have a dog. What is he talking? There's nothing there. And he says, there's a dog on your bed. His name is Zozo. And he's like, how can this 5-year-old kid know anything about Zozo, right? And he says, wait a minute, it's okay. He says he's here to protect the house. Oh, okay. So Zozo is here to protect the house. Yes, he's here to protect the house. Okay.
Wait, does she know who Zozo is? She knew the name. She
said she looked it up really quick. And
yeah.
This is from her. This is not from me. I actually researched it. It's not what she said, but she said she looked it up and she said, Zozo is a demon dog that protects the gates of hell. That's what she says.
Oh shit.
Zozo, from what I look up, apparently is a demon who has the face of a dog. Kind of looks like a dog.
Okay.
And
that makes sense that it was talking if it wasn't.
Right. And I think it's tied to like the Ouija board, because when it goes from Z to O to Z to O to Z to O, they say that's the demon Zozo or whatever. I don't know.
Ah.
But she says, okay, come into my bathroom real quick. Tell me what you see. So the little boy walks in the bathroom. He looks in there and goes, oh, there's a lady in here. And he goes, oh, she looks like a zombie. And he basically, I couldn't believe what she was telling. He said that he actually described the Santa Muerte. That's what she looks like. She looks like a... I was like, wow, man, that's a crazy story. Get me in touch with this kid, you know? But
get him on the show. We want to hear this.
I want to get him on the show. I want to see what he sees in my... Yeah, but she was not the type that you wanted to call and hang out with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that seems like a... That's quite a thing, man. Don't let the girl that I'm dating or my girlfriend hear this one. She'll start praying to Santa Muerte.
Oh no! Don't, yeah, dude. Okay, yeah, the thing about this. Now, I do not advise it, and I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in that kind of stuff, but I ain't messing with this. I'm not even giving it a chance. You know what I mean? If you do not offer this thing something in return, and I mean offer something, you are going to pay dearly. So there's this guy, another guy picked up. He told me the story about his cousin and him were drinking and they're having a good old time, and his cousin said, hey, say this. So he said, blah, blah, blah. He read a prayer to the Santa Muerte, right? He didn't know what he was talking about. He thought it was a joke or whatever. He didn't care. Goes on with his life. 3 major things happen. Terrible things. He lost his job and his house. His mom got stabbed, nearly killed in an altercation. And then he went through a fucking windshield. He went through a windshield, bro. In an accident. And and when I went to go pick him up, he was on crutches coming out of rehabilitation for his body or his legs or something. Yeah. And so he starts telling me this story. He said that his cousin made him pray to this thing, and these bad things started to happen. It was like 3 of them. So he called his cousin and said, what the hell is this? What did you do? Have you offered anything to the Santa Muerte? And he said, no. Yeah. And she said, you have to offer something or else it's going to continue. It's going to take you. Say this thing,
but I'm not going to explain the rules to you, but I want you to say this. I want you to say this. Enter into this contract with a being. But don't.
What kind of cousin is that, bro?
No, that's really setting him up for failure with that one, man.
Fuck. Well, anyway, he said, this is what he said. I got on my knees and I prayed to Jesus Christ, and it has since stopped. I don't think so, bro. Good luck. I hope everything works out. I have a feeling he's not around either. I don't think he survived.
Man, I don't know if Jesus can get you out of that jam, man.
No, he don't want to mess with it. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to mess with that shit.
Yeah. So throughout the stuff that you've been going through, or the stuff that you've been listening to and learning about on Dayvid Don't Know. Obviously, if you start off with Dayvid Don't Know, you're trying to learn things, right? Is there anything that you don't believe? Is there anything that you've heard that you're like, nah, I don't,
oh, man.
I can't get behind
tons,
that?
Tons. Yeah. A lot of it is on Instagram that I see. A lot of it is...
Well, yeah, well, like, you can hardly believe a lot of the stuff that you see.
Jesus
you see
Christ.
Videos of stuff, it's hard to, like... Unless you recorded it yourself, or unless you know where it came from, like it's hard to accept a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I
have an ability, I think, to be able to hear someone talk to me and read if they're being honest with me or not. I picked up this one guy who was telling me he wanted to tell me a story from the get-go. This guy was blowing smoke up my ass. It was a bunch of bullshit he was telling me.
Right.
He was making it up as it goes along. You know what I mean? And it was very clear didn't even believe what he was telling me. But
He's just telling you stories just for the fun of it.
Yeah, he.
I mean, were they at least good stories? Like,
no, bad.
No,
bad stories. It's like I wouldn't even get out. I wanted him out of my car. There's two types of rideshare riders that I like, that I get is a very interesting, lively conversation and a very, like, a connection. I love those type of riders. The other riders, I want them the hell out of my car. From the minute they get in, I want them out. I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to talk to them. There's something about them that I'm like, you got to get out. I don't tell them to get out. I drive them to wherever they got to go. But I am like dying to get to that place to get them out. You know what I'm saying? Bro, let me tell you this. Can I tell you?
Yeah. Go ahead. Can
I tell you a story? Let me tell you this story that happened just a couple of weeks ago before Christmas. Pick up this guy. So I'm driving up, and it says it's like a medical facility, right? So it's behind a Taco Bell. First of all, it's a strip mall. Okay. And it was behind a Taco Bell, and I'm thinking, okay, this has got to be a terrible, like, medical facility. So I'm pulling up. I see 2 cop cars. I see one cop in front of the cop car. I see another cop on the, like, walking in the parking lot, and a cop talking to a guy, right? And I'm thinking, okay, is this like a substation? What the hell did I come into? What the fuck's going on? Pull up, and I'm waiting for the guy, and the guy that I'm supposed to pick up is the one talking to the cop, right? And I was like, oh shit. So he comes out finally.
Getaway driver.
I was like, what the hell? So he comes out, he gets in the car, and I said, dude, is this a substation? What's up with all the cops? He goes, dude, I can't go to an appointment without the cops showing up. And it didn't snap, bro. It didn't snap in my head what he said, what he meant, right? And I thought he was just being funny or facetious or some shit. So we get in, we start driving, and I notice that he's, it's just him in the back seat, and he's sitting diagonal, right? There's no one on this other side. It's just him. And I see him do this. I'm like, oh, shit. Is he talking to himself? He didn't say that, man. He's not talking about it. I was like, oh, fuck, this guy's got schizophrenia, dude. He's talking to voices that he hears in his head. So I asked him just to be, I'm like trying to play it off. I'm like, oh, sorry, were you talking to me? And he goes, no, I was just talking to myself. I was like, oh, snap. It hit me. The cops were there because of him. I just picked up a dude that his own doctors called the cops on, and I'm driving him home full on schizophrenic, bro. And I'm like, shit. And so I had this little thing. Let me show you. I got it on TikTok. It is as TikTok will say, it is a window breaker, right?
Oh yeah.
So let me grab this. This is basically what it looks like. It's a window breaker. I break windows with this thing. And so I pull this thing out and I put it right next to me just in case this guy gets an idea. Because he's talking about me, Joe. He's talking about me. He's having a conversation with whatever he is talking to about me. Like, he's not saying that about me. I'm like, oh, snap, this dude is going to attack me, dude. Luckily, he gets a call, right? Man. So he starts talking to this guy, and he's like, not having an argument, but like a discussion, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, thank God. There's 9 minutes before I have to drop him off. He gets off the phone again, and then he's again. You think, what do we do? What do we do? Then he's going into his backpack, Christ. And I'm like, shit, here it comes.
Shit's over, yeah.
Well, luckily, he I don't know what he was fudgling with. Then he gets his water bottle, dude, and he takes the longest drink in history, bro. He takes just drink, and he doesn't stop for like a full minute. And then he finishes, he goes, Then he gets another phone call. I don't know who this guy was. I think this guy saved my life. Whoever called him saved my life. The dude goes, yes, I understand. No, I get it. Yes, you're right. Is there any way I can visit you, like, to say goodbye? I was like, oh, fuck, he's gonna kill himself. What? He goes, yeah, I'll take your advice. I'll take it to heart, is what he said. I'll take it to heart. Is there any way I can see you before I go in to say goodbye and to thank you? No. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I'll go in. Yeah, I'll go in. So it was basically talking about going to like a
rehab facility or something?
Some sort of place. No, I think he's mental. I think they were going to take him to, like, he was going to go to a place and check himself in.
Like an institution, yeah.
Yes, an institution, exactly. And that whoever that guy was, dude, he talked to him the entire time as I dropped him off. And they got to this house, and he thanked me, and he left. And I was like, holy crap. That could have gone so different, bro. That could have gone the worst possible way. That spooked me. That spooked me a little bit.
Jesus Christ. I couldn't imagine, like, sitting down and seeing somebody else and talking to somebody else that wasn't there. That just seems wild.
It was so freaking strange, Joe.
Yeah.
I was like, is he talking to a ghost back then? My mind goes straight to that.
Right.
No, dude, he was talking to himself, and he knows he is. He knows
Yeah.
he is. Crazy.
It reminds me that there was some guy, and this was a while ago. I remember seeing like a video on him or something. He's talking about how he sees stuff, he sees other people, and he talks to other people. And he's like, the only way I figured out that I can decide if they're real or not is to take my phone camera out and actually put the video on them. And if they're still in the video, then they're a real person. But if they're not, because he's like, my delusion doesn't allow the picture through the phone. He's like, so I'll be having a conversation. He's like, if I suspect that it's not a real person, I'll take my phone out and turn it on him. Turn the camera on him, just to check, just to see if the person is real or not. Like, I mean, you realize that, like, at that point, you've already lost your mind, essentially. I mean, it's not completely there, but I was like, I'd lose my fucking shit if that happened to me. But
dude, I worked on a story years ago, like with some like comic book artist friends that had to deal with. The main character was schizophrenic, and seeing that in person, seeing someone live through that in person was so surreal. I felt very bad for him and very scared for myself.
Yeah.
But it's just, damn, dude, I don't know how to explain it. It was a surreal moment, and I felt like I wanted to help him and I wanted him the hell out of my car at the same time, if that makes any sense. I felt bad for him. I posted on Instagram, you and I, we're part of the bonus program. I posted a picture or a post or whatever you call it, and it was about schizophrenia, and they've discovered that it's the voices they hear in their head is their own thoughts acting as another person. Right. It's not acting, it's just they
I think I caught that
part that separates. Yeah, and I was like, wow, dude, that all that, and then this happens. That's crazy. But yeah, Joe.
One of my great aunts was schizophrenic.
Is that right?
I don't remember. I mean, I was very young when she was around, and she passed when I was like a teenager, so I didn't see her much. Family just kind of kept her in my great grandmother's house, and we only saw her when we went over there. So she wasn't something I interacted with a lot. So I couldn't tell you really what she was like. But
I hope they can find a cure for this.
I hope so, because it's definitely not a great thing to have. So speaking of your ride shares, I wanted to ask you too. What's your do you have a line? Do you have like an icebreaker line for when you want to ask people about paranormal stories or ghost stories?
Yeah.
Like,
it's hilarious.
Sometimes it's kind of
You know my friend JJ Rose 777.
Yep.
She's been helping me
talk about it quite a bit.
With energies and this kind of thing, and so I've been learning about how to pick up on energy, and that's been a big help for me. So I can actually tell, like when someone gets in the car, I can pick up on how they're feeling right away. So immediately I can tell if they want to talk or they don't want to talk. I ask a few preliminary questions: how you doing? How's the day treating you? That kind of thing. From their responses, I can tell this person does not want to talk. I'm going to keep quiet. But if I get talkers, it's not long before I'm like, have you had any paranormal experiences? And some people have had some great ones, man. I've had a lot of good stuff to be able to put on the show. Really spooky stuff, like really. San Antonio is a haunted town, bro. But I get a lot of people who,
it's an old town too, isn't it?
Yeah, 1718 established at. And yeah, dude, there's a lot of death here, a lot of stuff going on. It's really, I'm just scratching the surface on exploring. That's something I want to start doing now, and location type stuff. Put my face in front of the camera more. Yeah.
Have you been doing some paranormal investigations? Have you been getting into that?
I was getting into it, and then the heart attack, and I thought, well, maybe getting scared now would not be a good idea. Dave, why did you fall down? I don't know. So I'm waiting to strengthen it. I feel great, man. I feel better than I did before. So
good, man.
That's a good sign. I'm getting to the point where, okay, it's time to buy ghost equipment, right? It's time to go and explore. And there is a mall very close to where I live. It's called this. They changed the name, the Center of America's Mall or some shit like that. It's one of the oldest malls in San Antonio. It's like the second oldest mall. I have picked up people and dropped them off there that work there that told me there's a little girl that haunts the mall, and she shows up usually at closing. It's like everyone's out, they close all. They're like fixing, getting ready for the next day, and there'll be a little girl humming and skipping down the aisle where there's not supposed to be anybody at all.
Oh shit.
Twice I've heard the story, so I would love to do an investigation there. They've got other hauntings, but I would love to see if I can get in contact with that little girl and see if I can get her on film or something. That would be like, this one girl said, I work at this clothing store, right? I work at this clothing store. It was closed for the night. Everyone was out, and it was me and another girl. We're getting all the stuff, hanging all the clothes back. And I saw this little girl walk around the corner from one side, and she was humming, and she went to the other side, and I ran because I thought, oh my God, there's a girl stuck in here, right? I ran to go and say, do you need help? And she was gone. And we both searched the entire place. There was no girl there, but I saw her and I heard her. And I was like, I believe you. This is the second time I'm hearing this. I believe you.
Right.
You know? Well, yeah, I would love to do that, Joe. Have you done that? Have you been doing it? So
a friend of mine, Heather Lopez, she's Haunted Hunter 22 on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Mm-hmm. She came down to the Cape. I got the keys to my old family's homestead. So I invited her down, and she brought her 2 sons, and she brought all her ghost hunting equipment. And we spent about 4 or 5 hours in the homestead, in the old family homestead, trying to figure out if something was there. She's a bit of a medium too, so she got there and she was like, yeah, I can definitely feel it. There's definitely something here, you know, but it's all family, you know what I mean? It's not, the history of the house is well known, the history of the family is known by me. And what I was thinking that was very interesting, well, besides, at one point she's got what's called a tripwire, so it's essentially like a bunch of those cat toy type things, like all on a string, and you know, each one can flicker, or they can all flicker together. And we actually caught a video. She caught a video of it. She was sweeping across the living room, and it moved, like the whole fucking thing slid down the couch, and like it hadn't moved in an hour, sitting where it was, and then all of a sudden, as she was panning over it, the thing just slid down the couch a couple inches, and then stopped, and it didn't move again. But the thing that was really interesting is, like, she had the Ovulus machine going, and it would, you know, that's the thing that spits out random words, not random, but words every once in a while. And so while we were sitting there, like, asking questions like, oh, are you here? Are you, you know, is there something you want to tell us? What's your name? Like, it wouldn't say anything. But the times that I was telling stories about my family, and the times that my uncle had actually come over at one point, and he spent about 20 minutes telling her and me and her sons, like, different stories of the family. Anytime we were talking about the family, we were telling family stories, the thing was like constantly chiming in, and it reminded me of, like, if you're with a family gathering and you're all sitting there talking, and like the younger kids are talking, you got that one older family member is like, that's not what happened, this is what happened, like, let me tell you, no, let me tell you what she did, or let me tell you what he did, or you wouldn't believe this story, like, kind of like that, you know, like chiming in to correct whatever we were talking about. But the rest of the time, crazy. It wasn't doing anything. Like, it wasn't reacting like a normal ghost. It was reacting like a family member having a casual conversation, you know. So it was super interesting.
That's wild, man. Is this the same girl that was in Rob's movie?
No. That was
okay. I'm confused. Yeah.
That was Erica Glamour Ghoul. She played the villain.
That's the one.
She's the one who plays the villain, and she's the one who was talking about. She said when they got done filming the movie, because they filmed the movie in the Freetown State Forest, which is one of the most haunted forests, not only in America but probably in the world. Right? It's the Bridgewater Triangle. You know,
we covered that.
The place where King Philip's War happened. So she was telling us that when they got done filming the movie and she went back home, like, she wasn't okay for a while. She said, I was, 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, I was just depressed, down in the dumps, wasn't feeling well. And then one night woke up and saw what essentially looked like her boyfriend standing at the end of the bed, but like as a shadow standing there. And she went to, she's looking at it going, what the fuck is he doing up? And like went to go turn a light on or something to go grab him, and realized that he's still laying in the bed. And so when she turned the light on, the fucking thing disappeared. She's like, it's the first time I've ever seen like an apparition. It was in my house.
It's like a straight up
after
mimic.
We filmed that movie. Yeah.
It's a mimic, man. That's crazy.
Crazy story, yeah. But
love that.
Yeah, the movie thing was interesting, and I can't wait till he's done with it. They're still working on post production now.
And you're in it, right? You got a piece in it.
I did a cameo, yeah. Did a cameo as nice. Hiker number 1.
Or you should be number 1 hiker. Yeah, that's better.
That's it.
I like that a lot better. Number 1 hiker. Gotta
change it. Number 1 hiker. That was fun, Steve, and I got to take my son out there to see it too. But he thought,
that's badass, man.
It was very cool, yeah.
That's Steve behind you, right? In lights? Am I crazy?
Yep, that's Big Steve.
Yeah, yay! That's my girlfriend's ex-husband's name is Steve.
No, really?
Yeah.
Well, Steve the Skeleton.
Nice guy, actually. Pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
And just
he's gonna stay inside because I put him out in the front porch and he freaks my neighbors out. So.
Oh God.
I can only put him out there during Halloween. I had him out there one summer with a Hawaiian shirt on, and the neighbor was like, "Dude, every time I see that thing, it freaks me out."
You were I think the third episode, right? I'm trying to see. Yeah.
For your
you were the
podcast?
fifth episode.
Fifth, yeah.
You were my fifth episode. We talked about New England triangles. That was a great episode, bro.
Yeah. So your first episode, I wanted to bring this one up too while we're here.
Yeah.
Your first episode, Amanda. I love Amanda. She's awesome.
Yeah, she is.
Host of the 1-0 podcast.
Yeah.
But she brought up Stardust Ranch, and you were talking about the book, and I found the book on Audible, and I listened to it, and holy shit, that story freaked me out, man.
Dude.
That book and that story of Stardust Ranch. I think I was out hiking, and I had it in my earbuds, and I was listening to it, and the dude was talking about the story at one point about, he's like, I was going to go to dinner with my wife, so I go grab my wife, we get in the car, we drive 45 minutes to dinner, we sit down, we're sitting at the table, and then either she got up and went to the bathroom, and he looks at it, he finally turns his phone on, he's got like a bunch of messages, and they're all his wife going, where are you? What are you doing? Why did you leave? And he like calls her back, and she's like, I'm at home, and he was like, he realized he'd never even like looked at his wife when they drove all the way to this, so the thing came back and sat down, and he finally looked at it, and like, he's like, I knew that it knew that I knew. I was like, holy shit.
Oh, shit.
That story is nuts.
Yeah, she told me that one, and I was like, oh, my God. Can you imagine? I wonder, did it still look like his wife had to have, right?
I was like, God, did you take a picture with the phone at least? Like, you know?
Poor guy is no longer with us. He passed from diabetes type 2, but and it was strange that he passed so quickly from it. That's one thing I was like, wait a minute, man. That fast? Yeah. I have it.
That's interesting.
I've had it for decades. As long as you take care of yourself.
People live fine with type 2 diabetes.
Oh, yeah. And what's funny is that you don't feel it. It's like one of these things that doesn't hurt or cause you pain unless you go out of control, right? But that freaked me out. And then, dude, I mean, I try to put myself in his shoes. Like, if I were to take Angie to dinner and she's calling me while I'm driving this girl, it's just it would have blown my freaking mind, man. That whole thing about when they were looking at the house to buy and they go to the house and it's got all this furniture and like, we can't have all this furniture.
Oh, the furniture thing too, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And are they listening? And they're like, you know what? Let's just magically move it into the pool. No one will notice. That's crazy. How did they do that?
Yeah, and then he was talking about like how long it took him to get all this shit out of the pool.
Yeah. Yeah, like, but they did it in one night.
Just
nuts.
All out, yeah. And then talking about the aliens coming in to the room, like through dimensions and through the portals when they thought he wasn't looking.
Put a hand out, right? He's like, is anything out there? And he would grab the hand and pull him out. Oh, dude, that guy was something else. 18 of them he killed. The katana
that fell off the truck that he took home and started killing aliens with.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
And so let me get this straight, because from what I remember, with the katana, he killed one, and every time he would kill him, they would just disappear, right?
Right.
Is that what he said? They would just, somehow they would vanish, right?
I think I remember him talking about killing one and keeping it in a freezer, right?
Yeah, yes.
Because he managed to kill one. He managed to keep one in the house, like, that didn't go back through the portal. There was something that he did differently in the way he did it, or like how far it was in the portal or something. Okay,
so that I did not. And he held on to it. He still had it, or
I think he said he had it. I think they biopsied it or did DNA testing on it a couple times, dude? But it was inconclusive.
Well, he had one time, and this is according to Amanda. He stabbed one, it disappeared, but there was substance on it, on the blade.
Yep.
He collected the substance. And this dude was a pillar in his community. I mean, he was like a scientific dude. He takes the substance to a lab friend of his, a scientist friend of his. They do all this stuff, and they discovered, that all the material is not from this earth. It's just, we don't know what it is, actually. It's not earth material, right? Yeah. And that information and all that stuff, apparently, because we tried looking for it, gone. It's not on the internet. It got scrubbed somehow. But back when she originally told the first story on this other show, years and years ago, she used it. It was, here it is. This is the information. But we couldn't find it, man. So I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened to that guy either, to be quite honest with you. Apparently he went bye-bye, because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what they were saying in the audiobooks. I don't remember if the guy who was talking had like updates or something. Maybe he did. I don't know. Sometimes they update those books. Like with the like I'm 3/4 of the way through the Montauk Project. 'Cause me and Rob were doing the Montauk Project with the Stranger Things and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So the Montauk Project Experiment in Time book has been updated over the decades since it first came out with like new information and shit like that. So maybe I can't remember. It's been a little while.
I'm really fascinated by that.
When you first put that episode out, I listened to it. I found the book while I was listening to your episode, and I downloaded it.
Wow, man. Thanks, man. Damn, that makes me feel good. I appreciate that.
Yeah. It was funny too. Like Rob was talking about something that disappeared too. We were talking about the USS Eldridge and the Philadelphia Project, right? And the ship that disappeared. And he goes, when I was a kid, he's like, I was fascinated by the Unsolved Mysteries show.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, I remember seeing an Unsolved Mysteries episode that had the USS Eldridge, had the Philadelphia experiment in it, and now he's like, I bought the whole Unsolved Mysteries set, like on Paramount, like that you can just buy the whole series or whatever. He goes, that episode's not on there anymore.
Oh, snap.
He's like, I remember watching that episode. It frightened the shit out of me, and it is not. You cannot find it.
What? Dude, let me tell you something. There's a dude who bridges the Philadelphia experiment and the Montauk Project. He was in both. He was involved in both.
Yeah, that was
his name is Al.
That was
Balick. Yeah, you heard of that guy?
I've heard of it, but I don't. Not from the Montauk Project. Something else.
He's been in several projects. He's talked about moon base. There's a base on Mars, according to him. That he's been around, but he said that during the Philadelphia experiment, he actually slipped through time.
Yeah,
and went to the 28th century. And I posted a series of videos of that today.
No shit.
It's fascinating, dude. What he was talking about, what the future looks like.
Yeah.
He says that in 2764 or whatever, he says that there are no more than 300 million people on Earth, and that there's city-states now. No government. Zero government.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. There's basically these cities that are floating. There's some that are tethered in the sky. They're up like really, really high, and you can move these cities anywhere in the world if you wanted. So you can just move them. If there's a hurricane coming, you can just move it out of the way, basically.
Interesting.
And he was saying that they're all controlled. All these city-states are controlled by one. He called it a one intelligent computer. Oh, come on, man. It's striking because he's talking about this, I think, in the 90s. And he's basically describing quantum computers mixed with AI. And these things control an entire city. They control everything, dude. They are the law. So if let's say you do a misdemeanor, for example. You do a misdemeanor, you have to go and seek an audience with the computer. And you go up, you talk to it, and it decides, okay, you think you can rehabilitate yourself, you're not going to do this anymore. It will make a decision, and then it'll put you in a work camp. You go and you do some work. Yeah. And that's basically how they get things done, right? But if you do a felony, they call it the red zone. There's a yellow zone, that's misdemeanor. The felony is a red zone. If you do a red zone and they bring you in, the computer will talk to you, try to see if there's any way for you to be rehabilitated. And if it decides that there's no way, done, right there. Zap, killed, over, meet, done,
So
finished.
forget
it's
it.
just,
You're lying. Yeah, you can't.
He's not going to make it. I can tell he's lying, but he's gone. It's just, to me, that's wow, dude. That's how you control a society, right? And you keep it safe. I hate to say it. It's like the worst way, but it's the way that works. There's no money that they don't use. They have a credit system, a kind of a weird credit system, but it's not the way we think of money today. There's no jobs, really. A computer handles everything. It just
How credible do you think that these time travel people are?
Zilch, nothing. I don't really believe any of them. This guy is intriguing to me because how could he have come up? I mean, he must be one hell of a Stephen King type character back then. But was he really in these projects? I don't know. I don't know what to believe on that guy. I posted a whole lot about different dudes who were like in the year 2055. That was a huge 8.3 million views on this video that I posted. This guy, he's in France. There's no one there. He's by himself, and he picks up like a drink, right? And in the top it actually says
this one, yeah.
So I posted
super,
that. That one got me 50,000 follows in like a week. That one video.
Oh, shit.
Yes, if you find it, post it, bro. It's good stuff. But I don't believe him. I don't believe him. It's very convincing though. It's like he has video games that are from the future. I'm like, what the hell? But I mean, you can make that. He went to go and get a drink from like a vending machine, right? And he gets the drink, and in the very top of the drink, you see this, and there's a date on it.
It's got the date on it.
It's got the date, and it says April 1st, 2055. It just says 55. But I looked at the video, I studied it. It never drops. He just picks it up from the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like he puts his hand through the thing and he pulls it out. So he could easily have printed it and then put it in there and then makes it look like he bought it, right?
Yeah.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. But
I remember
would love for
hearing one time. I remember hearing one time when I was a kid, somebody posed a question of like, if time travel is real, why are we not being visited by hordes of tourists from the future? And especially around like, and you know, I would add on like, especially around big events, stuff that, you know, major events, shit that we've seen happen, where it's like, holy crap, I can't believe this happened. Like, why are there not future tourists?
Well,
showing up?
Who's to say there aren't? I mean, you've heard like when Oppenheimer was working on his stuff, there was a lot of UFO activity around it.
Yeah.
You see a lot of UFO, like when Queen Elizabeth died, there was UFO activity on that funeral. Well, who's to say there isn't? And here's another thing. They're coming up with this invisibility stuff, like Harry Potter invisibility cloaks and stuff. They're developing this kind of technology today. You know, if they're doing that today, imagine in the future, 100 years from now, it's going to be the bomb, bro. You're not going to be able to see anything. So who's to say they're not? And we just don't see them.
And I mean, they've been working on this shit for decades.
It's the holographic stuff they're working on right now that's kind of got me a little spooked. Next year, we'll find out what's up.
I mean, the USS Eldridge, the Philadelphia experiment was in 1943. Yeah. And then the story with the Montauk Project is in 1983. They tried to connect to the Philadelphia experiment. And that's how they got right? That's how the two brothers who were on the USS Eldridge that supposedly disappeared were actually moved to another time, either forward or back or something like that. One of them claimed, I want to say it was the guy Duncan, the psychic, who was in the chair in Montauk, claimed to have actually been one of the brothers, was moved to another time and lived a different life. And holy crap! But then was brought back in. The government figured out who he was. I mean, he could have been, yeah. Because somehow you were on the USS Eldridge in 1943, but yeah, in 1993 you look like you're 40 years old. Sure.
Yeah, dude. It's nuts.
Sounds good.
I don't know. That whole thing is. We need to do a deep dive on that, Joe. I'm getting close to doing this deeper down the rabbit hole episodes on my show that I want to get a group of us together and talk about some of these things. The Philadelphia experiment's definitely on that list. I'm so fascinated by that.
Yeah, what's really fascinating is I started seeing, because I'm always looking at Montauk Project stuff right now, because we've been doing episodes on it, I keep seeing videos from the old Camp Hero that, you know, people went in there in the 90s, they took a bunch of videos of it, and one of them, they're like going into the tower, the Sage radio tower, and while they're in there, they come across a piece of machinery, and you could see it's printed Philadelphia across the side of this fucking machine inside the Sage tower. And dude, you're like, man, if this stuff, like, it might not be real, but man, there's so many coincidences. It's like, there's believability there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What if you've heard? I mean, you know, I do believe, and there's now science that backs it up. Multiple realities, alternate universes, that kind of stuff. I think that's a real thing. I can't back it up, but science is just now starting to say it's possible. And as a matter of fact, we can prove it. So when you think about things like this, and they're doing these experiments, are they doing extra branches? Are they creating different realities? Because if you think about it, if you're on the Philadelphia experiment, you're on the ship, right? And you say, where am I going to go? I'm going to go starboard. No, I'm going to go stern or whatever. You're gonna go this way. You've just created a whole different reality that if you went the other way, it has to branch out into something else. That's two realities right there, right? But if you think about
every decision in your life, you know what I mean?
Right. Can you imagine though, if you're every area you step, that's a branch, bro. Now these guys are doing this kind of thing. They're branching. They're making like these extra branches. Does that fuck up reality? I don't know, man. It's lovely to think about.
Yeah, and I mean, according to what they said with the Philadelphia Project, when they when they tried to hide the USS Eldridge using whatever the hell machinery they were trying to use, this cloaking thing, the ship phased out of reality, essentially.
Yeah, dude.
And like when they were talking about people who were, some people were melted into the walls when the thing phased back into reality. People were in the walls, people were in the floor, and the ones who weren't, the ones who were still alive, they went fucking crazy afterwards.
Yeah.
Like none of them were sane. They all ended up in institutions or killing themselves or something like that. And then later on in the Montauk Project there, they were trying to figure out how to not just phase the ship and the stuff that the people were in, but also to phase the people so that they wouldn't experience that lasting psychosis, you know, or get trapped inside the fucking walls.
That is insane.
And they did such a great job in Stranger Things of like throwing back to that in that scene where the walls were melted and the soldiers were in there.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. But I remember watching an X-Files episode. I think they were talking about this, and they showed what that would look like. And it was the first time I had ever heard of that from that experiment specifically. And then I went to go look at it, try to find some stuff on it because it's so incredibly fascinating. Now, I didn't know. So some of these guys actually went to they had to go to like a facility because they were kind of nuts.
These guys, apparently, the rest of the guys who were on the USS Eldridge, except for the ones that disappeared or the ones who didn't make it, they suffered levels of psychosis that they had to get institutionalized.
Wow, what happened? Why did they? I'm so curious.
I mean, you just like, they're using these massive hertz, waves and sound waves and radiation waves, and they probably essentially just fried their fucking brains. You know what I mean?
To be. They zapped like neurons and maybe even created others, or maybe they saw things that men are not supposed to see.
Seriously. So like when I was in Iraq the second time, right? We had these the insurgents used to use phones and stuff to set off IEDs. So they would use like a phone system, and they would watch and wait for you to drive by it, and they would call the phone number and it would go off. So we got hip to that, and they started putting jammers on the trucks. And so like every time I was sitting up in a gun turret, this jammer is like 4 feet away from me, right? Like up on top of the truck. And they're up on top of like a bunch of the trucks, and we're all sitting in the gun turrets, and they clearly say on the side of it, like, do not be within 20 feet of this thing while running.
Shit,
you know what I mean? So like every time I got in a gun turret and I had one of these jammers on the truck, it gave me the worst fucking headache I've ever had in my life. Every single time. Rob even, like, when Rob said that every time he got in a truck and it had a jammer on, he's like, I'd shut the fucking thing off. He's like, I'm not letting that thing fry my freaking brain. I was like, well, good for you, man. I let her run.
I'd rather explode.
I sat there with a fucking headache every time. I'm glad you were smart enough to shut off. Right, to not blow up.
Yeah, I would take headache over blow up any day of the week. I
don't know. I had
Rob,
headaches.
Come on, man.
Rob was in a truck that blew up, so we could ask him at one point, which was if he thought not getting headaches was worth blowing up.
Oh my god, man, that's crazy. Dude, I picked up a guy today from our veterans hospital. Real cool dude, but I swear to you, he looked like my father's age. I'm not shitting you. He was about, I thought he was in his 70s, right? So he was telling me he's in the Army, and I said, okay, my dad was in the Army. My dad was in Vietnam, and I was expecting him to tell me the same. I was in Vietnam. No, dude, this dude was in Iraq. He did 3 tours in Iraq. Yeah. I don't know how he aged so, like, that would have been if I had joined the military, that would have been mine. You know, I would have been in that war. Yeah. I was shocked by that, dude. Actually, the first Iraq war, I would have been in the Desert Storm, but he was in after the 9/11. He said 2002, and then when it ended in 2006, he was there from 2003, 5, 6, and 7. He did 3 tours, and man, he told me some cool stories, man. Also with he was the guys who blow things up. He said
EOD.
Blow things up. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's awesome, man. He was telling us some cool stories. He said there are no women drivers in Iraq. I go, really? He goes, yeah, they don't allow it. And you can't get drunk. If you're an Iraqi, you're not allowed. If you get drunk, they'll kill you. I said, what?
No, we weren't allowed to. Yeah, we weren't allowed to drink either because of the local customs.
Trippy, bro. That's trippy. But y'all drank anyway, right?
We got, I mean, you could pick up stuff from third country nationals, and I remember somebody picked up a bottle of like Jordanian Scotch, or bottle of Scotch from a Jordanian, and
oh, badass. It sounds like Romulan ale or some shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, I was like, that whole thing that you guys went through, man. My hats are off to you. God, that's the desert, craziness. He was talking about, what do you call it? hillbilly armor. I think he was talking a little bit about that.
Yeah, the army was good for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The army, they would cut up dumpsters and fucking bolt them to the size of their Humvees and shit. You could tell too, because it was like it was all cut up and shit. You just cut up pieces of metal.
I asked him, was that as effective as the good stuff? And he goes, I'm glad I never found out. I don't think it was.
Yeah, I remember having to put like sandbags on the floor and shit because we didn't have armor on the bottom of the trucks. And, like, all the IEDs are buried in the ground, so like, why wouldn't you have armor on the bottom of it? But
that's where you got to have it. Jesus Christ.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, man. When shit's blowing up like that. But yeah,
man, respect, brother, respect.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to ask you. I know we're getting pretty close to where I want to wrap up here, but one of the things I wanted to ask you is in episode 7, you talked with Jonathan Perez Galvin, also known as Latinos Against Spooky Shit. And I love his stuff, man. His stuff is fucking awesome. Yeah, I follow him. Of course I do. I follow him.
That's amazing.
I probably followed him before I even met you and did the podcast, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and I remember how excited you were to have him on your show. I remember you talking about having him on the show. You were super fucking excited. So how hard was it? I want to ask, how hard was it to contain your excitement, and what stood out to you the most when you interviewed him?
First of all, I didn't contain it, bro. I just was like, yeah.
Like, I was writing this question, I was like, I'm pretty sure he didn't.
If I looked like I wasn't, damn, I don't know, because I was, and I let him know right there in the beginning. He's a cool, down to earth guy, and he was like very open. Yeah, dude, he's got his own show. It's called The Spooky Guys, and if you listen to this show, his co-host is married to his ex-wife. And
that's very cool.
If I'm not mistaken, is the reason why they divorced, because she was was with this guy. And so it blew I was like, what? Wait a minute. Rewind. That you said what now? He goes, yeah, he's my co-host. We're actually very good friends. And I said, oh, snap. You were good friends after? He goes, yeah, after. But he's a good guy. My son is there with him. And, so, yeah, we both share an interest in spooky stuff. So we decided to do a show. I was like, damn, dude, respect to you, because I would be like killing that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, I probably wouldn't, but I was just really impressed with him. He's, we're talking, you have 200,000, I have 700,000. He's got millions upon millions of followers, dude, on all his platforms. He's just a huge guy. Landing him was like Christmas, bro. I was like, this guy, I follow him. He's funny as hell. I just did a video today, kind of in honor of him, basically, where I do the whole, show my face or something. On TikTok, only on TikTok. And dude, I can't even tell you, it was so huge to land that dude. And he is really the nicest guy. He even was like, hey man, send me this information. I'll share it to my friends, and maybe you can get this kind of connection, that kind of connection. I was like, oh man, I never did it because I'm an idiot. But he was talking about, I still need to do it. It's making it's like a, Jesus Christ, like an ad PDF of your show.
Yes.
It shows like how much listeners you get, how many blah blah blah. At the time I wasn't getting jacked, so I didn't really want to do it, but now it's starting to grow a little bit. Like I just did a show with Allie Haunts. I'm not sure if you follow her. You should. She's really...
I do. I followed her for a while, and I did listen to that episode too. She was really good.
God damn, son. I was, I love Angie, and I'm never leaving her, but good God, that woman is beautiful. Holy shit. I was like... And I told her, too, on the show, I was like, good Lord, woman, you are gorgeous. Well, okay, you're married, too, right? Yes. Okay, great. I was like,
good.
All right.
That's off the table. Let's start there.
Woo! No,
Congratulations.
She's cool. We've been friends for years, and she was not... I don't know, do you get people who are, like, not comfortable, or, like, they've never done a podcast, and they're, like, they don't feel... She was like that, and
I've definitely done that.
I got her to be on my... She was a subscriber on Instagram once, and I got her to do the 6 questions. I used to do the 6 questions on Instagram, and I got her to do it, and it was like... She says that helped me open up a little more, and like she does that a lot now. She goes out and does investigations. She works with a group, which I will not mention, because they were not happy about me mentioning them. And
okay.
And so she did the show. I thought she did great, man. She thought she was nervous. She looked amazing. She did a great job. I am definitely having her back on, and she's excited about being back. So, dude, you should reach out and see if you can get her on. I'm sure.
Yeah.
She's just fun to talk to. I don't know why. Very fun. But I had a couple of episodes ago, I had a girl named Amy, also Army veteran, Amy Charlesworth. She has her own show called Queen Amy. And the girl looks like Angelina Jolie and is very, like, she's a follower. So she would comment on some of the videos, especially UFO stuff. She was very interested in the UFO stuff. So we got to talk about UFOs together. That girl she's primed for prime time. She's really good at what she does. Yeah. So that was like, wow. I feel very lucky to be able to interview some of these people. Very blessed, man. I'm feeling it, dog. I'm feeling it.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I think
I'm really happy with, like, I got Gina on the show. Gina Black. She's awesome. Gina's been doing this for years now, and we had similar, like, I was an IT manager, bro. I was set, but I hated my job. I did not enjoy it. I did not enjoy my job. And then I got fired, right? And the very next day, I created Down the Rabbit Hole. The very next day.
Nice.
And then 3 years to the day of my firing, I got the largest check from Instagram. Larger than anything I ever got in any job, including the manager job. And it was a program you and I were working on, the referrals program. You remember that?
Yeah. That was pretty good.
We got paid, bro.
We got pretty decent sized check from that.
I bought my phone with that.
I think yours was much. You definitely got a lot more than I did, but yeah, that was good.
I have to thank you for, you gave me some tips, and those tips paid off big time. And I was like, wow, Joe, I gotta get him something, man. And you also on Spreaker. That's something I didn't know. I mean, I knew, but I thought, oh, I'm so small, I'm not gonna get anything right. I heard you say that, and then I turned it on. And it's working well, so I'm happy with that too, man. Thank you, Joe.
Good. Yeah. Spreaker is I'm definitely making more money than I pay for Spreaker now, which is good.
That's awesome.
You know, I'm not making a shit ton of money off of it, but it's definitely better because I used to do Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is good, but you have to maintain a certain amount of listens to be able to start advertising, and I was never there in the beginning. You know, but Spreaker allows you to start doing that right away.
I wish Spreaker would let you see where you're getting your listens from. They do to an extent, but you have to pay to really see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on Buzzsprout,
you have to pay quite a bit.
Right. And on Buzzsprout, you could see you didn't even have to pay
pretty
for
much
it.
Everything.
Yeah, I missed that, dude. And 1-0 was on that. And yeah, we didn't get paid.
Yeah, the other thing that Spreaker that Buzzsprout does that Spreaker doesn't is they give you the first 7 days of every episode, which is a big metric when it comes to podcasts and what, you know, where you are in the podcast world as far as like you in the top 50%, 10%, whatever. You know, that first 7 day metric is the metric that they really look at. And Buzzsprout will give you the first 7 days of all your episodes. So you can tell which ones do better in the first 7 days.
Oh, Spreaker
yes.
Yeah, I remember
Spreaker
that. I
doesn't
remember
do
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. Shit, I remember that now. But it was Amanda she was in charge of that, and she like gave me access to it, complete access. And yeah, the 7 days thing was amazing. God, I missed that. But Spreaker's great. At least I'm getting paid. I don't mind not knowing where my listeners are. But like on Buzzsprout, we had like 88 countries listening in, like stuff like that. It was cool. Like I know that my voice has been heard in Pakistan, or you know what I'm saying, weird places.
Oh yeah, I love looking at that. Going, what countries have they been downloaded? Like what, Libya?
It's fun.
Sorry, who the fuck listens to it in Libya? But yeah, it's very cool.
Exactly.
Like, so shout out if you guys
like
are listening from whatever country you're listening. Yeah, Austria. I think typically America is my biggest one. Britain, Canada, definitely always big. California is the biggest state that I have. It's always most downloads is in California.
Of course, all the hiking stuff out there.
Which I think is interesting. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
California is also an older state too. I mean, the Spanish were there back in the 1500s, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I was amazed that we had Australia was a big one for us.
Yep, Australia too.
New Zealand. I was like, New Zealand, bro? Really? That's a small ass island. Quick story. I had a friend who's not that bright. He actually believed that because you know Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand, right? Based on this information, my friend. He's not my friend. This guy said that that's where the hobbits are. They're buried there in New Zealand.
The hobbits are buried in New Zealand?
Yeah. And I thought, huh? What do you mean? He goes, well, that's where they filmed. I said, just because they filmed that there doesn't mean that there were hobbits at one point. This is a fictional story, bro. He goes, no, dude.
I saw something that was super interesting the other day. Now that you brought up hobbits, I want to bring it up real quick. Somebody was talking about how a few, maybe 100,000 years ago, there were 5 or 6 types of humans in the world coexisting. So it was more like Middle Earth at one point. We did exist in a time where it was like Middle Earth. We had several races of people, several species of humans, and it's like, man, could you fucking imagine living in a world like that?
They're still finding like
crazy. I swear humanity is so much older and it is so much deeper than what we have any idea as to what it is.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, like they're still finding.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh. Yes, sir.
Okay.
They're still finding these humanoid like skeletons that they don't know where they're from. Like I keep posting that because I keep finding that. And it's like fascinating to me.
Super interesting, yeah.
And I love it because I have all these followers, right? And I love it. They're like, there's like this one guy comes out and says, "So what?" And I just
there's always one, right? There's always one.
So what? I don't care. But yeah, dude.
There was
going back to that friend of mine.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I got a post on Montauk on the TikTok. It's got 300,000 something views and hundreds of comments, right? And some guy jumps on there and goes, "Everybody knows about Montauk." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't run this by you before I fucking posted it." Like,
but I love your approach to it is my favorite. Like,
don't care, right? Like it,
don't care. I love that.
Comment, like, say whatever you say, and I'll comment back just something smart ass, just because it boosts engagement.
Yeah. Exactly, you're getting paid from it. That's what
exactly.
I love about
that. The social media thing is all about likes and comments and reposts to get. That's why people post controversial shit all the time, because that's where the money's at. You know what I mean?
Are you getting those freaks yet?
What freaks?
And I'm not just saying women. I'm getting people that are either threatening me or saying they're gonna do stuff. That kind of. Are you getting any of those yet?
No. You know what I get is I get the spam porn sites. Everybody, I'm sure those come through all the time. But then I get people who are trying to promote the podcast, who want to promote me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That like the spammy podcast, promote this, promote that. And then I get people sending me random reels that have nothing to do with what I do on there. So you really gotta filter through all that shit.
It's a lot. There's a lot. You know what I can't understand is the people that will send me my own stuff. Why?
my friends do that all the time.
See, well, that makes sense. They're your friends, right? They're like, "Oh, dude, why are they sending it to you?
You're the one who just send me my reel."
It happens all the time, and it's usually here's what's freaky. It's a lot of that is from people who don't follow me. They're sending me my own stuff back to me, but they're not following. I don't get that.
You know what's a real good one is the other day my brother sent me a reel, and it was a reel that I made that someone else stole and reposted.
I fucking love that shit, dude. I fucking love that shit. Yeah, man. You know what was interesting today? I was looking for like pictures. I wanted ghost pictures, and so I went on Facebook and I put in, "Hey, ghost pictures, blah blah blah." 10 of the first ones were mine, and I was like,
That's
"Wow,
awesome.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's cool."
That's super cool. Yeah, I had somebody jump on one of my posts because I had screenshotted a picture from her page, and apparently it was one that she made, and so I just because you screenshot shit all the time or repost it, and I try to, like, if it's somebody's stuff, like I'll, especially if they watermark it, like I'll try to tag them just so that they know, like, I'm not trying to just steal your stuff and not give you credit for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going to steal your stuff, but if I give you credit, I'm going to give you credit for it.
Everybody does it.
The internet, everybody does it. You know what I mean? So she comments like, "Oh, this is definitely mine. It was stolen." So I was like, I tagged her in it, and then I put a comment, and then I followed her, and I liked a bunch of her stuff, and I was like, I hope this makes up for me stealing your shit, not tagging you originally, but I didn't. That wasn't the intention. You know what I mean?
That's one of the things I've learned from the beginning of this, because I wouldn't do that, and I had this one group. They had a great capture. I think it was in Gettysburg of it looked like a soldier straight up. I mean, this was like,
I remember that.
So amazing. Well, they were pissed that I shared that, and they said you didn't tag me in this and you didn't do this. So I went in there and I edited it. I added this from this group. Please follow. Blah blah blah. And they were I appeased the gods. So now I just everything I share I credit. Even if it's a credit from someone, I know that they're taking it from someone else. I try to add that someone else if I could find who it is. Generally, I can, but I try to credit.
That's why the watermark is good. Like if somebody puts a watermark on it, then you know the original source at least.
Right. That's why I like yours, because you'll see it. I know it's from you right away. I love seeing people share mine. I don't care if they share it. It's getting me more views. I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
My little watermark is being seen, and I will hear every time someone gets in my truck, someone will say, "My husband follows you. Oh, my brother follows you. My fucking family follows you. Oh my God, all my cousins." I love that, bro. It's the best.
Yeah, it's super fun when people recognize you. I went on a haunted ghost tour in downtown Westerly here, and when I got there, the tour guide was like, "So you're the one, you have the podcast, right?" He's like, "My boss called me and told me like 10 minutes before we started that I was going to have a podcast host. So to make sure that I gave a good presentation."
Hey, you're the one. That's awesome.
I was like,
bro.
"That's it, man. Fantastic."
God, that's cool. I wish this thing was. Gosh.
And then I spoiled one of his stories because I knew the stories before he started telling them.
Holy shit, Ed. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm very happy with the way things are going. I didn't expect him to go this quickly, you know. Remember we had a little wager back in episode 5 that whoever gets to 300,000 or whatever it was.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
You blew it out of the water, man.
I didn't
kind of stagnant for a while, but you cranked it up, man.
I do.
You went
I don't
gangbusters
stop.
on it.
The thing showed me, like, there's this thing on Instagram that tells you how many weeks you've done it straight. 180 weeks straight. I have not stopped.
Climbing? Yeah.
180 weeks of posting every day.
Oh, no shit.
180 weeks. That's 3.5 years, bro. I was like, damn, really? But yeah, I love the paranormal. I will not stop doing it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with, like, better videos. I'm trying to make my own videos now. I have one coming out pretty soon, and I want to tell stories, like these I'm calling it Quick Dive Down the Rabbit Hole, and I'm excited about the future, man. This is the year, Joe. This is the year that I feel like if everything goes well, I won't have to drive anymore for anybody. I won't have to do work for anyone. That's the goal, bro, and I think this is the year.
That is the goal. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
I want you there with me, sir. I want you there with me.
I'm shooting for it, man. I'm cranking away. I'm grinding.
I really regret, bro. I was in Massachusetts and Salem, and I didn't realize how close I was to Rhode Island. And
it's 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, and 2 hours from Kevin too.
Yep, in the other direction.
Yeah, dude. It's like, what the hell, dude? Shit.
Man, I'm sure we all would have met you there.
Dude, I'm coming back because I know this is a thing I want to do. I definitely want to travel. I want to do conventions. I want to do, I want to do all of it, bro. So that as soon as this thing gets to where it needs to go, that's what's happening. And I'm definitely coming to Rhode Island, bro. I got to go to the Quahog or whatever it is. Quahog. I want to check it out. I'm so excited about meeting you, about meeting Kevin's coming here in February, next month, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll meet him next month for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I think I've probably taken up enough of your time, but
I can talk to you for hours, my friend.
I know. I feel like I could go for another hour, not worry about it. But why don't you tell everybody where we can find you, man? We can find all your stuff, find all your podcasts. Wrap up that way.
I'm Dayvid from Down the Rabbit Hole. You can find me all over the social media. So if you're on Instagram, Down the Rabbit Hole. If it's on Facebook, it's Down the Rabbit Hole. TikTok's the same. My YouTube is Dayvid from DTRH because they were assholes and didn't want me to have that name. So I had to switch my name up. My podcast called Dayvid Don't Know. It comes out every other Thursday. So not this Thursday, but the following. In the next episode, I'm interviewing a guy from Ireland who lives in Houston who's created a YouTube page and a podcast called Houston Strange. And this dude, let me tell you, man, I've listened to a couple of his episodes. This guy, when he writes what he's talking about, it's very poetic and fucking beautiful, to be honest with you. It was like beautiful, like hearing him talk and the way it's like music, man, the way the guy talks. So he was a great guest, and that's coming out not this Thursday, but following Thursday. And I have also I'm host of The Real Verdict. It is a movie podcast that I do with Kevin and Alicia Watson, and I play the movie judge on that. I have a defense, I have a prosecutor, and sometimes they're both on one side. It's kind of funny. And then I have my final verdict, and we give a rating, and it's a real good time, man. So that's you can find that also on YouTube under The Real Verdict, REEL Verdict.
All right.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure seeing you again and talking to you, bro.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. It's been great talking to you, man. So thank you so much for coming. And for everybody else out there, thanks for listening. And get out there, find your shadows.
Yeah.